Good evening, everybody. This is Gardening Warrior Q, and this is my kitchen. Tonight, I cooked up, actually what I did was I browned up some great value meatballs. They're Italian-style meatballs, the kinds my kids prefer. They're the family size, so it was a big bag, and I made 3 batches. So this first one here, what I did was I set my oven to 375 degrees. I put the meatballs without any sauce into the oven, uncovered, so I could brown them. I left them in there for 15 minutes. Then I took them out and I put half of a jar of Alfredo sauce, great value Alfredo sauce, into a bowl and mixed it with a cup of heavy whipping cream and a half a teaspoon of garlic, because my kids really like garlic. And then I put that into the container, the roaster pan, whatever, and mixed it up real good. And then I boiled some linguine. And, of course, I saved the other half of the jar. So what we're doing now is just getting that all mixed up. After I add the sauce, I put it back in the oven for another 15 minutes on 375. Just to make sure that all the sauce is well into those little meatballs. And the meatballs are already cooked. They're frozen. You don't really have to cook them that long. The 375, I don't know if it's my oven or what. The directions call for 350, but I put them on 375 because they don't brown in my oven otherwise. And you're going to want to take them out and just keep moving them around to make sure the sauce is all over the meatballs. Plus, I'm going to add the other sauce that I had left over with the pasta. Okay, now this is the other half of, it is 1 pound, 6 ounces of Alfredo sauce, just a classic Alfredo. And I like this one best because I can add all my stuff that I want. And I used a 16-ounce box of linguine pasta that I boiled 2 directions. Now, I actually take my uncooked pasta out, and I will break it into threes, so that it goes a little further. And now this, like I said, I took half of it out and mixed it with the heavy whipping cream to make the sauce, to cook it in 375 for 15-20 minutes, just to make sure that the sauce is nice and thick. Then I put half of the cooked pasta on top. If you want to get the rest of that out of there, just put a little bit more milk or heavy whipping cream in there and shake it up real good. Now, my daughter has already been taking the meatballs and stealing them. So, what I am going to do now is mix that all up together real good. And we're going to make like a little casserole here. We're going to put the oven back to 375. I accidentally turned it off. I was trying to cancel the timer and canceled the entire oven. So yeah, that's going to preheat. It shouldn't take too long because I just did that like 5 minutes ago before I realized I had accidentally canceled both the timer and the oven. She's very hungry over there. That's why she's making all that noise. She is ready for some white pasta and white sauce with meatballs. And I'm just going to go ahead and dish a little bit out for her because she's getting very anxious. It's past dinner time. It's 5:45. And she had a snack, so I thought maybe that would hold her until this was done. But my Essie, the one you hear in the background, has autism. And she pretty much, she's a growing girl. She's 11 years old. She is a teenager. And she gets very hungry. So that's why she's antsy. She's over there protesting the fact that I have not given her white noodles and white sauce and meatballs as of yet. And I just want to stir these all up before I give them to her. I don't want her getting too much pasta or too much, of one thing. Okay, so hopefully she'll be quiet now. She's being fed. She should be happy now. I have a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese that I'm going to sprinkle on top. Okay, that came to like half a cup. So I'm going to take that now, and I'm just going to mix that all in there. Get it good and mixed in. Okay, so I mixed quite a bit of the noodles in with the sauce and the meatballs, and then I took about a handful more and put it on top. All right, now we have provolone and mozzarella blend. It's a 1 cup bag, but there's probably about maybe a half a cup left in there. All right, there was actually a whole cup. So I spread it all over. And my timer just beeped. So we're going to put this uncovered because it's already cooked. All the sauces are melded together. The linguine was already cooked. So we're just wanting to melt the cheese and heat it through. Now we're going to put it back in the 375-degree oven. And we're going to do 20 minutes this time. So, the Alfredo and meatballs casserole are back in the oven. And you notice something else has come out of the oven. These are actually just ranch meatballs, and my kids will eat these on hot dog buns like a sub. That's just how they like them. They'll probably add some barbecue sauce. They like doing that. But I like to just have these on hand because it makes a quick meal, and sometimes they'll eat them with a veggie and just by themselves. Other time they'll add ranch dressing. But all this is ranch seasoning pack. And I actually only use like half of a ranch seasoning pack because I get mine in a shaker. So it's like a tablespoon.
Goofy dog.
And again, they started out without anything on them. 375 in the oven for 15 minutes. And then I took them out, and they were nice and saucy by then. So all I had to do was sprinkle the about tablespoon of ranch dressing on top. Or not ranch dressing, the ranch powder on top. Mix it up real good, stick it back in the oven, and let them cook and brown up nice on 375 for another 15 minutes. Now, these I will let cool and just put in the fridge because they'll do whatever they want to do with them. Add barbecue sauce, add more ranch dressing, eat them plain, add a veggie. Who knows what they'll do, but that's the way they like to have their ranch meatballs. The second set of meatballs that I did, third set I guess, is actually garlic parmesan. And again, I started out with the tray of the uncooked Italian, or the cooked but frozen Italian style great value meatballs. And I split the family size bag into three pans. But then I took the garlic parmesan wing sauce, a 12 ounce. I emptied half of it into a bowl, and I mixed it with, I think it was a cup. Yes, a cup of the lactose-free milk that my daughter likes, that she has to have. And then I put the meatballs in it after they had cooked on 375, or actually browned on 375 for, I did these for 20 minutes. And then, because they were on the top, they weren't browning that well. And then I took them out, added the milk and garlic parmesan sauce mix to them. And then after they had cooked for an additional 20 minutes to thicken up the sauce, I added the rest. I added the lactose-free milk to the rest of the bottle to right here. And I shook it up real good to get all the goodness out of it and poured it on top. And I cooked them for an additional 10 minutes after that. So what we're going to do with these meatballs, these are not going to be cooked today. These are actually going to have the pasta added to them. And now that they have cooled, and we're going to put the pasta in them, we're going to put them into a freezer bag, get all the air out, and this is going to be a freezer meal for another day. But all that marinade, that garlic, parmesan goodness is going to be soaked not only into the meatballs, but also into the pasta. And then when my daughter that eats this, she's the only one besides me that eats this garlic parmesan because it's really spicy. When she comes home from her friends tomorrow, she will, be wanting something to eat. She can have the ranch meatballs. And then Monday or Tuesday, I'll take these out, or we can just leave them in there for another day. Who knows? Whatever mood she's in. And that way she'll have it, and all she has to do is really just let it thaw and put it in a microwave safe bowl and eat it that way. That's the way she likes to eat it. So that's meal prep. And that's how I do it. I pretty much make meals, and then I will save one or two of the meals, sometimes 3 or 4 of the meals, depending on, if I decide to double, triple, quadruple the recipe, and then we'll stick the rest in the freezer. So we'll have 1 or 2 varieties of meatballs or whatever, and that saves us on time. I have 3 special needs children, and they require a lot of therapy, okay? In-home therapists come to my house on a regular basis, and that's usually after school. And so this is a way that I can already be prepared, not be rushing around at dinner time when I should be sitting down and working with the therapist and the child, or children. Often it's children, 2 or sometimes even all 3, in different rooms with different therapists. So this is how I stay ahead and I stay prepared. I hope that helps somebody out there. Y'all have a great night. I am going to go ahead and mix this pasta into this garlic parmesan, and I'll be right back. All right, so I mixed the noodles in, the pasta, and it still needs to cool just a little bit before I can put it in the freezer. But all I'm going to do is put it into like I said, a big zipper bag, a freezer zippy bag, and get all the air out, and then it'll go in my freezer. Always make sure when you're freezing something that you label it, like with what it is, the date you put it in there, and any cooking directions. Like this one, you just thaw and reheat, not a biggie. but sometimes I will make my homemade meatballs, and I'll just brown them and put them in the freezer after they've cooled. And so when I do that, I will put on the bag browned meatballs, thaw, cook at 375 for 30 minutes. Make sure you put the recipe and cooking directions in it so that if somebody else besides you is cooking it, they'll know what to do with it. And you don't have people eating, like frozen meatballs because they didn't thaw it, or undercooked meatballs because you didn't put on there that they were just browned and that they had to be cooked. Very important. So like I said, I really hope this has helped somebody. Food prep is so important. You don't want to be running around, especially you homesteaders and farmers and busy moms and busy dads. You don't want to be running around trying to figure out what to feed your kids at the last minute. It is so helpful. There are so many sites out there, especially on YouTube, that do freezer meals. There's Freezer Meals 101 with Christy and Charlotte is awesome. And they give you the recipes in their description for most of the stuff, how to prepare it, how to package it up, and how to cook it after you thaw it. There's also, I think, Freezer Family. I should know this. I'm subscribed to them. But my computer's down at the moment. I had to turn it off for an update, so I can't tell you. I can't look it up. But I'll put it in the description box below. But it is imperative. If you want to eat healthy and you want to save money and you want to eat good, wholesome food, that you prepare ahead of time. I know a lot of us are canners. We can our meat. A lot of y'all can entire meals. There literally was just a collaboration this month, hashtag feast in a jar. And I got so many recipes off that. Every year, Lisa Sutton's over at Sutton's Days does Canuary, hashtag CANUARY. This is like the third or fourth year she's done that. If you need ideas, go look them up because there's so many resources out there for you right now. And that way you don't have to be scrambling. You don't have to be worrying about what am I going to feed my kids. It's very, very important. It is so helpful just to plan ahead. Yes, it takes a little time in the front, but then when all you have to do the night before is say, hey, let's have this, or there's even dump and go recipes. You put everything in a bag, put it in the freezer. You wake up that morning and say, hey, I've decided I want to have pulled pork. You go to your dump and go and you pull it out and you stick it in your crock pot on low, and girl, by the time you get home, not only do you have a home cooked meal, but your house is going to smell so good. Oh my, you have no idea. I usually do pulled chicken. I don't usually, as a rule, eat pork, but we won't go into that. I'm thinking I'm probably going to do this as a premiere because it is so very long. But I think that it's very important that you think ahead, that you plan ahead, that you do the work ahead so that the day of, you're not scrambling and your family's fed and you can feel good about the food that they are eating. It's healthy. It's not takeout. It didn't cost you $100 for 4 bags of Zips burgers that taste crappy. Don't go there. We just won't go there. So this way I have food prepared, portioned out, and the healthy portions for my children with meat, starch, veggies in my fridge with a menu on the refrigerator door. Oh, y'all thought I was joking. And as we run out of something, I cross it out and put what I replaced it with. Baby potatoes, those are about to be crossed out because they're getting used for a meal. Onion rings, gone. French fries, gone. So I have to update these. Peanut butter and strawberry jelly. My kids like their jelly and strawberry, or their peanut butter and jelly mixed. This is gone. Turkey lunch meat, gone. Roast beef lunch meat, gone. Cheese slices, still there. Potato salad, gone. Cheeseburgers, gone. Roasted chicken has been used up and is now, the bones are in the freezer. So this, as I do every Saturday, actually, I do meal prep on Sundays. It just so happens that I did it today because I was hungry. But usually on Saturdays I'll do my meal prep, and then I'll do the meal cooking and freezing on Sundays. I still have stuff I'm going to be cooking tomorrow. This is actually because I wanted to have some of this for dinner. So this will all get fixed. Have a menu, meal plan. Yes, it takes a little bit of time, but in the long run, that day or two you take is going to last a week, maybe 2 or 3 or a month. Who knows how long you want to, go at it. Take baby small steps. So, all that being said, I want to thank everybody for coming and for hanging out with me as I'm cooking on a Saturday so that my kids will have food for the week. And just, if you have any questions, if you need any help at all or any direction as to how to do this, please leave me a comment down below and I will get back with you, because this is so very important. Especially y'all homesteaders know we're gearing up for our busiest time of the year, okay? It's spring, things are getting planted, things have to go out to the gardens. It's about to get crazy. And if this helps any of you at all, I will take the time to personally email you resources to help you. So please, don't hesitate to leave me a message down in the comments and I will get back with you. I think my email might be in my About page. If you'd rather email me, that's fine. I will make sure before this premieres that's possible, or that it's, it's there. And again, if you have any questions, please, about meal prep or any resources you may need, just let me know. I got this, and you got this. You've got this. If you don't have it yet, you can. It is possible. It is doable. If me, as a single mom with 3 special needs kids running around making that noise when she's hungry, can do this, you can do this. You've got this. And if you have children that are at an age or an ability where they can help you, get them involved. My kids now they eat more now than they did before. They're willing to try new things and more different things, even with their specific dietary and sensory issues. They're willing to try more food because I grew that broccoli, I grew that cauliflower, I grew that lettuce, because I've got them in the garden, which is in my house and in the community garden. I don't have a homestead. I don't have a farm. I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment on the 3rd floor with a teeny tiny balcony. But my kids are learning where food really comes from. My kids are learning how to cook with wholesome ingredients. They're learning good nutrition. And that's so very vital in this day and age, because I guess they don't teach home ec in school anymore. Must have went out the door with civics class. Anyways, another subject we're not going to get into. I hope that this has helped somebody. Again, like I said, if you need help or you need direction or resources, contact me, reach out to me. She's getting all kinds of crazy. And I don't know what her problem is. She might want more noodles and meatballs. Who knows? But I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Thank you again for coming and visiting with me. And I will make sure that my email is on my About page so that you can email me if you'd like to. If you do not have the money to provide for your family and you're watching this, I've got resources for food banks. Don't let your kids go hungry or without good, nutritious food because you're embarrassed. A lot of times, I have people donate food to me, and I bank it up, and then when another family needs something, they know they can come to me, and I will put a meal together for the size of their family that their kids will eat. And there's no shame in my game. My kids are not going to go hungry. I don't care what the state says. I am not going to not prepare food and basic necessities for my children. So, she's getting antsy. I'm getting long-winded and rambling. I hope y'all all have a great day. And again, thank you so much for showing up and so much for participating. I really do appreciate it. And y'all have a great day. Bye.